Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Gerald Mohr, starring in The Adventures of Philip-Marlowe, going back 72 years to June 28, 1950, an episode entitled Pelicans Roost.
Get this and get it straight. Crime is a sucker's road, and those who travel it wind up in the gut of the prison of the grave. There's no other end, but they never learn.
Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum, the refreshing, delicious treat that gives you chewing enjoyment, presents for your listening enjoyment Raymond Chandler's most famous character in The Adventures of Philip-Marlowe. Now, with Gerald Mohr starred as Philip-Marlowe, the makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum are glad to bring you tonight's exciting story, The Pelicans Roost.
Hello, Marlowe speaking.
Phil, thank heaven you're home tonight.
Lynn?
Yes.
Lynn Russell?
Uh-huh.
Oh, baby, when did you get back to town?
Yesterday. Phil, listen, I'm at Eugene's. It's a beauty salon in Wilshire just west of La Cienega.
Yeah?
Come over here right away, will you?
Me? To a beauty shop?
You've got to help me get out of here.
What's the matter, kid? Got your head caught in a dryer?
Phil, please, I'm serious. I'm scared. There's a guy waiting for me outside, and when I leave here, I'm afraid he's going to try to kill me.
Now, look, this isn't just for laughs, huh, baby?
Phil, this time I'm not fooling. This man's crazy. His name's Ward Erling. I had a few dates with him once. He was in an accident 3 months ago, just before I left on my cruise. He's supposed to be in the hospital right now, but he isn't. He's here, just waiting for me to leave.
Yeah, but Lynn,
Look, I'm not asking a favor, Phil. I'm hiring you.
Okay, baby, it'll take me 15 minutes to get there.
Oh, thanks, Phil. I'll wait till I see you walk by.
I drove out to Wilshire Boulevard and kept telling myself that I could trust Lynn Russell. Why? Because I like her. She was a glossy brunette, born with all the natural equipment of a top model and a covey of oil wells in her own name. She rushed at life, but she'd always been smart enough to stop short of real trouble. Well, it was 9:30 when I got to the section of Wilshire's Miracle Mile that housed Eugene's beauty shop. I drove by, saw no one outside, so I pulled into an alleyway, parked, and walked back slowly. As I passed in front of the show window, I winked at a gilt mannequin with purple hair. And when I heard the door open behind me, I stopped and lit a cigarette. Lynn Russell hurried by without a word, ran to a cab at the corner, and drove away. And that was all there was to it. I turned around, headed back to my own car, and got as far as the handle on the door. Oh! I fell against the car as the blow came again. Oh! It made syrup of my legs. I oozed down onto the pavement and stayed there.
I know you. You're Marlowe, the private detective.
Okay. So I'm Marlowe.
Well, let me tell you something, Marlowe. I've spent 3 months flat on my back because of an accident that wasn't an accident. I'm going to get even with her, you understand? I don't care what it costs. Palmer Sloan or anybody else can hire a dozen like you, and it won't stop me, so stay out of my way.
I climbed up my front fender hand over hand, got back on my feet. In time to catch a glimpse of a new convertible emerald green with what must have been Ward Erling at the wheel. Well, there was no use trying to follow in the condition I was in, so I headed for Lynn's place with all my windows open. The cool air helped. I pulled up in front of a wrought iron arch labeled Garden Court Bungalows and followed a flagstone trail back to number 4, which was Lynn's. I felt almost normal again, until I saw her front door. It was standing half open, framing a man against the dark interior who was trying his best to see inside. This time the advantage was mine, and I took it.
Take your hands off me.
Get inside.
Oh, just a minute.
Get in. Now turn on the lights. Lynn.
I doubt she's home. Miss Russell is not in the habit of sitting around in the dark.
Oh, you know her habits, huh?
I do. And you?
I know she has bad taste in men.
I wonder if I should resent that.
You don't qualify. What are you to Lynn?
When she wants someone to help her lift a martini glass, she calls on me. We've been going on like that for years.
Just tell me your name, Junior, and he's off on the small talk.
My name is Sloan, Palmer Sloan. Now it's your turn, Mr. Muscles.
Never mind. Lynn! Lynn!
By what right are you snooping around like this? Just who are you, anyway?
Here. Here's my card. Lynn hired me tonight.
Oh. So you're Marlowe the detective?
Yeah, Marlowe the detective. Any idea where she is? It's important.
None whatever. I had a date to meet her here, which never means very much to her. Why did she think she would need you tonight?
Because she was afraid of a guy. One who gave me a crack on the skull, and incidentally, doesn't think much of you either.
Oh?
Ward Erling. Ever hear of him?
Erling?
Yeah.
Why, yes. But Erling's still in the hospital. He met with an accident, you know, something about brake slipping on a car, and he was crushed.
Accident's not what he calls it, and he's got a gun, just for emphasis. What's his connection with Lynn?
Oh, help yourself, Marlowe. Lynn won't mind.
Get your snoot out of that glass and answer me.
She discovered him, like all the others. That sculptor 2 years ago, and the cowboy, Tex Harrison. Early last year was the fellow with the racing boats, and so on. They are hobbies, fun and games to Lynn. She's got too much energy, far too much.
What's the difference with Ward Erling?
Well, he fell in love with her.
Oh.
It was charming. And then he wouldn't be brushed off, told off, or bought off. She tried them all.
So?
She left. Ran out, took a cruise. He wanted to marry her, simply wouldn't take no for an answer. Imagine that. Those two belong together like scotch and kerosene.
You know, you sound a little like you're in love with her yourself.
Maybe I am.
Oh.
But I know my quaint little position in her life. I'm her errand boy, Marlowe, nothing else.
And you don't care how dirty your hands get?
What do you mean?
Skip it. Now look, errand boy, her life's in danger. Right now, I've got to find Ward Erling in a hurry. Any good ideas?
You might try the Four-Bell Jump in Santa Monica.
What's that?
It's a jive joint on the waterfront at Surf and Wilshire. That's where Lynn dug that character up originally.
He's a musician?
If you want to call it that. Some do. He was the piano player and leader of a small and for some reason successful combination that's still there as far as I know.
Yeah, and one more thing. Lynn left here in an awful hurry. She might be looking for you. And I might later, too. Now go home wherever that is and wait.
Why not? Oh, it's 210 in the Beekman Plaza.
210, huh?
And if my apartment doesn't answer, try the bar.
When I pulled onto the parking lot at the Four-Bell Jump, the first thing I saw was the nose of the emerald green car Erling had been driving peeking out from the side of a building. I checked it and found out it was registered to one William Freeman. Well, that meant nothing, so my next stop had to be inside. The club was a low-ceiling mixture of dusty fishnets, the smell of bad bar whiskey, and noise. The band had just finished a set, climbed off the stand, and drifted out to join the customers. I saw the name Howdy Bub Freeman stenciled on the bass drum. He was a flyweight who carried most of it on an oversized head equipped with a pair of protruding yellow eyes. Stuck out even further when I followed him out to a back room. Hey, Bub.
Yeah?
Is that your car around the side, the green one?
Yeah, brand new. Nice, huh?
Too nice to loan out.
Better come again.
Where's Ward Erling? I thought he was the piano man here.
Ward he used to be. He's in the hospital now. Had a bad accident a while back.
Who says it was an accident?
What? It was an accident. I say so. Of course it was. I saw it. The brake slipped in his car. It rolled down an incline, pinned him against the wall.
Is that so? Who says he's in the hospital?
I do. Hey, look, what's your grift?
You're a liar, Bub. Erling borrowed your car tonight.
Man, you're dragging me. I'll see you around.
Come back here!
Look, I got no beef with you, mister.
Where can I find Ward Erling?
Why don't you go off somewhere and drop dead?
Where is he? Come on, little man, before I shake it out of you. You look like you shake awful easy. Where's Erling?
Wait a minute. I don't know. I swear I don't. I don't care if he used my car. I didn't know it. He's a bring-down, a spook.
Keep going.
He blew his cork over some society doll. It practically wrecked our combo we've been working 5 years to build up. Also, it broke the heart of one very sweet kid. Maxine's so gone, she'd scrubbed floors for Ward, and he couldn't see it. I'm disgusted with him.
Maxine who? Where can I find her? Now look, little man, do I shake some more?
Maxine Majesta.
That's better.
She's inside at the end of the bar, blonde in a blue dress. Take it easy, will you? She's a good kid.
So am I. We'll get along fine. I'll see you, Bub.
What'll it be for you, mister?
Scotch.
Oh, that one's taken. Lady will be right back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Water or soda?
Water.
Right. There you go.
Thanks.
Hey, Larry. Are your phone's broken? I didn't get my nickel back.
Oh, you want me to freshen up the drink, Maxine?
No, thanks, Larry. This is fine.
Maxine,
Yeah?
maybe you can help me.
Maybe.
No. No, what I mean is I'm looking for Ward Earling.
Try under a rock.
You know, you sound a little bitter.
I'm as bitter as a slot machine these days. What's it to you?
Well, I'm an acquaintance of Lynn Russell's. Name's Marlowe. You know her, Maxine?
I've seen her at the jam sessions we used to go to. She used to show Ward off to her little groups like a prized pup.
Sure you got a peg right? You know, she tried hard to shake it.
Listen, she's the gut rocks type who'd sink a yacht just to watch the bubbles. And that's only...
Only what, Maxie?
Never mind, skip it. Good night, Mr.
Hey,
Marlowe.
wait a minute. Don't I get to buy you a drink?
Some other Tuesday. Good night.
I watched her as far as the door. Decided to go after her, and then I caught the bartender giving me a very cold eye. Didn't thaw any as I downed my drink and saw him high-sign the bouncer. It looked like my welcome was wearing thin, so I went outside, sat down in my car, and tried to figure out who was covering up what. But I only got as far down the list as Palmer Sloan. It had come from the back room in the club. I was a poor third in getting to him. A waiter in a white apron and a fat sax man both beat me.
Over here, Manny. Here. Hey, it's Bob Freeman. Holy cats, what's wrong with him?
He's been stabbed.
Yeah, there. In his neck. An ice pick. Bob, who did it?
No use, fella. He was gone before he hit the floor. Whoever did that to him got him dead center.
June 28, 1950, The Adventures of Philip Marlowe on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to Medishare for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And Medishare's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. Medishare is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues now with more of The Adventures of Philip Marlowe starring Gerald Mohr, June 28, 1950.
Now with our star, Gerald Mohr, the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's exciting story, The Pelicans Roost.
Howdy Bub Freeman was face down and dead. The ice pick that had killed him pointed straight up, rigid like an accusing finger. To the right of the dead drummer's sprawled legs was the fat saxophone player, his face shiny with a fine sweat of fear. And to the left, the waiter who had found Freeman's body. For a backdrop, there was the doorway crammed with astonished faces and the funny kind of cracked voices people always have at a time like that. I closed them out. The waiter objected.
No, wait a minute, mister. What are you doing that for? We gotta call the cops. Hey, you ain't the cops, are you?
No, I'm a private detective. Name's Marlowe.
Well, that ain't good enough. We gotta get the law
Shut
about
up, Dave.
this. What?
Mr. Marlowe will tell you anything you want to know. My name's Lager, Manny Lager. Bub Freeman was a good friend of mine.
Even if he's the reason Ward Earling went to the hospital?
What'd you say?
That from my corner, Freeman dead only adds one way. He put Ward Earling in splints to keep him from wrecking the band by running off with Lynn Russell on a 90-day cruise.
Oh, yeah, sure. To get even, Earling put an ice pick in his neck. Tossed it right from his hospital window.
You don't keep up with the news, do you, Lager? Erling left the hospital this afternoon, probably by way of the fire escape.
Ward is out?
Out. And so that the accident was the kind that's planned well in advance. I know because we've already had a chat.
Then you mean that Erling did this to get square? He killed Freeman?
It could be. But there's another angle.
Yeah, an angle named Palmer Sloan. That society louse who didn't want his girlfriend mixed up with anything as degrading as a musician. That's it, ain't it?
Maybe. Erling was after Palmer Sloan or Lynn Russell. He never mentioned Freeman.
Yeah, but where's the tie? Howdy Bub didn't fall on that ice pick. How does it figure?
Playing the sheet music was Bub and Palmer Sloan working together. Palmer knew that Erling was on the loose. He was afraid Bub would spill, so he quieted him with that. Right, Marlowe?
No, I think you're wrong. Both of you. Look here. Here, I found this on the floor near the window. This wouldn't belong to a man, Mr. Marlowe. Not even the Palmer Sloan.
Let me see that. A mascara case.
Yeah.
Could be the very personal property of Lynn Russell.
Yeah. Her and a couple of million other dolls. You can't hang her on that. Every gal carries mascara.
Hold it, will you, Lega? There's a trade name on this case. Eugene, Wilshire Boulevard, Beverly Hills.
So what's that prove?
May prove you wrong, Lega. I'll see you, boys.
Hello.
Marlowe, Sloan, have you heard from Lynn?
No, Marlowe, I haven't, and I probably won't, so please, let's not call here
Save
every
it for the
hour.
country club, Palmer, and get a good grip on this. The drummer at the Four Bell Jump's been murdered. Looks like our not-so-sweet friend did it.
Lynn? Oh, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, I'm out of my mind. Now tell me, if she did this, have you any idea where she would head?
Well, no, Marlowe, no, I don't.
No.
The boat is tied up. Her car is in the garage for repairs.
Okay, suppose she didn't take a car or a boat. Would it be by... Hey, wait a minute, Sloan, what was that about a boat? Is it a yacht, maybe?
Not exactly, Marlowe. It's a cabin cruiser. Anchored off the Santa Monica Pier at the moment. and
Santa
it's
Monica, Sloan, that fits. What's the name of it?
Crest of the Wave. Why? What makes you think she'd go out there?
Well, among other things, a crack a lady made earlier tonight. A lady named Maxine Majesto who loves Ward Erling and hates Lynn Russell. Bye-bye, Palmer. I made it to the fog-veiled Santa Monica Pier in less than 10 minutes. Then was another 5 getting out to the breakwater that joined the end at right angles to form a protecting L for the 50-yard boats moored within. Boats that ran from the kind of sleek yachts that good girls stay away from to a leaky rowboat with a rusted outboard labeled Faithless. And all were moored in a series of slips connected up front by a narrow, wet catwalk that did not have a guardrail. Except for a quiet old man with his pipe and pass, the end of the pier was deserted. No light showed on any of the boats. When I'd gone along the catwalk as far as the crest of the wave, a neat chrome-finished 50-footer, I had a clammy, uncomfortable feeling that said I was too late. But that disappeared the next minute when I spotted Maxine Majesto standing alone on deck. Her blonde hair damp and flat to a drawn, glistening face. A face that didn't brighten at the sight of me.
Marlowe, what do you want here?
Lynn Russell. Have you seen her, Maxie?
Lynn? No, I haven't.
But you are waiting for her.
No, why would I
You mean you always come out here nights? It's good for a girl's hair, is that it, baby?
Marlowe, stay out of this, please.
So you can get to her alone?
No, Marlowe, so I can get to her alone.
What?
Don't punch an
Fine.
inch. I mean that, Marlowe. This thing goes off real easy. Now, where is she, Maxine?
I don't know. Oh, Ward, I knew you'd come here after her. That's
Never
why...
mind that. I want Lynn Russell, Maxine.
Why? Why, darling? Oh, Ward, aren't you through with her yet? Didn't you do enough to you? She and that Palmer...
Stop it. Just tell me where she is. Keep those hands up, Marlowe.
I had an itch. I'll ask permission next time.
Ward, listen to me. What difference does it make where Lynn is? She doesn't love you. She never did. You were a 5-minute intermission. But us, we're different. We were in love, Ward. We had everything.
I'm only after one thing, Maxine. Now, where is she?
Ward, please forget her.
Come here.
Get my arm.
I'm gonna break it unless you tell me what I want to know. The guy who runs the hamburger joint the other side of the pier saw her here, Maxine. And for the last time, where is she?
All right, stop it. She's at the Pelicans Roost.
Nice going, Adonis. You got your answer, didn't you?
Yeah. Just like I'm gonna get Lynn Russell.
Hooray. State'll be overjoyed.
What's that supposed to mean, detective?
Something like Lynn Russell just killed Howdy Bub Freeman?
You're a liar.
Really?
It doesn't matter. If it's true, I'll just be a little harder on the fine lady.
How hard can you get, kid?
Hard enough.
Oh!
Bloody Laddie, come now. Here we go. Up to the sitting position. Too much blood to the head is bad now. Come, Laddie, up we go. There we are. I'll be fine in a minute. Oh, there's quite the blow there.
Hey, take that light out of my eyes, will you? Oh, who are you? Oh, yeah. I noticed you out on the pier earlier.
The name is Spoon, Elvin Spoon, but they call me Scotty.
That figures. Oh. Scotty, tell me, where's the Pelicans Roost? Was it a nightclub or what?
A nightclub? Oh, no. It's far from that.
How far? What is it?
The Pelicans Roost is the old fishing pier.
In Santa Monica? A collection of rotting wood at the foot of 2nd Street?
Aye, but what business could the man have there, laddie?
The dirtiest. Thanks for your help, Scotty. Wait a minute.
What be it? Something you dropped?
Yeah. Something I dropped while being dropped. A mascara case I never really looked at before.
Laddie, you seem so puzzled.
Not puzzled, Scotty, just dumb. Lottie here has been jumping to the wrong conclusions, and all because he didn't take a good look at this and...
And what?
And the color of the girl's hair. So long, Scotty. Thanks again for your help. May get me to the Pelicans Roost on time.
June 28, 1950, The Adventures of Philip Marlowe on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Radio? Why should I advertise on radio? There's nothing to look at, no pictures.
Listen, you can do things on radio you couldn't possibly do on TV.
That'll be the day.
All right, watch this. Okay, people, and now when I give you the cue, I want the 700-foot mountain of whipped cream to roll into Lake Michigan, which has been drained and filled with hot chocolate. Then the Royal Canadian Air Force will fly overhead towing a 10-ton maraschino cherry, which will be dropped into the whipped cream to the cheering of 25,000 extras. All right, cue the mountain. Cue the Air Force. Cue the maraschino cherry. Okay, 25,000 cheering extras. Now, you want to try that on television?
Well...
You see, radio is a very special medium because it stretches the imagination.
Doesn't television stretch the imagination?
Up to 27 inches, yes.
She was born in a humble shack amidst the lemon groves of Goleta, California.
Mommy, don't cry. You know what they say? When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I was gonna say life sucks, and then you die. But I like yours better.
And with that, Alexandra Johnson launched her lemonade stand.
Lemonade, nickel a glass.
Every day, even during the frigid California winters, a bone-chilling 72 degrees, you could find her.
You can have a sour, you can have a sweet. Little girl's lemonade will knock you off your feet.
The little girl with the sour brew wanted more, national distribution, franchises, and so she rolled out a well-budgeted advertising campaign.
Me and the rest of the dockworkers only drink little girl lemonade.
She was made president of the International Sour Drink Association and chosen to give the keynote speech at their convention.
You all set with words of wisdom, honey? You know what they say, Mommy. Always advertise so consumers think of your product first. I was gonna say never swallow a lemon seed or a watermelon on your tummy.
This fabricated but interesting story is to remind you that it's called advertising and it works.
Put your message on this national advertising platform by emailing classicradiotheater@gmail.com. classicradiotheater@gmail.com. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, starring Gerald Mohr, June 28, 1950, Pelicans Roost.
The nickname for the cockeyed assortment of barnacled pilings that complained with every surge of the sea and complained again with the undertow that always followed was no misnomer. At least 1,000 sleeping pelicans called it home. Now as I moved out along the splintered, lopsided boards that here and there gave way, I tried to be careful, not to wake too many of the birds and stir them to flight, because that would give me away. But the heavy, clinging fog and the waves crashing over the jagged, jutting rocks below were on my side. I made it out to within 20 yards of the end of the pier without being seen. There I slipped my .38 out of my shoulder holster and went forward, a slow foot at a time, until I saw Lynn Russell, alive and alone, huddled near a slick, oily piling, a face in her hands, a body trembling with her tears. What I didn't see was the man who had come up beside me and taken aim. Oh, my hand!
How dumb can one man get, Marlowe? A beating on the sidewalk, a beating on the boat, and now this.
Third time's a charm, Adonis, haven't you heard?
Oh, Phil. Phil, your hand, it must hurt terribly.
Don't waste your sympathy, Lynn. The gentleman here thinks you're a killer. He thinks you knocked off Howdy Bub Freeman because you and Bub planned my accident, and you were worried about Bub talking too much.
Phil, how could you believe that?
Oh, it was real easy, Lynn. You had the motive, and that plus a box of mascara that came from your beauty shop just about sold me.
I don't understand. What about the mascara?
Well, it was found near Freeman's body. But it wasn't until a few minutes ago that I found something else. The mascara is brown, and that fits a blonde, not a brunette.
What are you trying to say, Marlowe?
My guess is that Maxine Majesta's that blonde. She happens to use the same brand as you, Lynn.
It's a good guess, Marlowe.
Maxine.
Swell guess. I did kill Bub. We both planned your accident, Ward. Bud because he didn't want you to ruin everything you two worked so hard for, and I because I'd rather have you in the hospital than with her.
Stay back, Maxine. He has a gun.
So do I, but I'm still a hit. You see, Marlowe, I got here before you did. I've been watching them. He had all the chance in the world to shoot, but he didn't, and he won't. And that's why you only got shot in the hand. He's not a killer. You only hit the killer's temper. And he's just learned that revenge is hollow unless you are a killer.
Don't, Maxine.
Shut up, both of you.
You killed Bub.
Yes, I did. He was afraid you'd find out everything. He thought his only chance was to tell you what we did and put the blame heavy on me.
You scum. You put me in the hospital, nearly killed me just to keep me for yourself.
Yeah, it's called love. Stupid, wasn't I, Ward? Selfish. And I lost. But if I can't have you, nobody... Oh, Phil. She hit those rocks. We've got to get her.
Not a chance. Wouldn't do any good if we did. Give me that gun, Erling.
Marlowe,
Never mind the speech. One back to the hospital. Get out of here.
Yes. All right, Marlowe.
It was midnight when I called the Santa Monica police, and when all the paperwork was done, it was 3 in the a.m. Lynn and I drove by the old pier and sat looking at the rotten timbers. Tried not to talk about the poor kids somewhere underneath them. Lynn.
Yes, Phil.
How do you feel about everything?
I don't. Just numb.
Maybe that's the best way. Numb, anesthetized, insulate our hearts, our sensibilities. That way nothing can get to you. Yeah. And then just as we think we're all snug in cotton wool, life explodes the insulation, the heart ends the anesthesia, and we're back grabbing at brass rings.
Phil, I want to go home.
Okay, kid. But remember, there may not always be a way home.
The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, presented by Wrigley's Spearmint Gum, bring you Raymond Chandler's most famous character and star, Gerald Mohr. Philip Marlowe is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and written for radio by Robert Mitchell and Gene Levitt. Featured in the cast were Lillian Buyeff, Larry Dobkin, Georgia Ellis, John Daner, David Ellis, Paul Dubov, and Jack Crucian. The special music is composed and conducted by Richard Arant.
June 28, 1950, The Adventures of Philip Marlowe on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just 2 of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the soap opera Claudia, June 28, 1948.
And now, Claudia. Dum doo 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 doo.
You're sleepy, David.
Me, of course not.
Well, you sound sleepy.
I'm not, though.
Darling, you could admit it. It's not unmanly to be sleepy.
For your information, I'm just enjoying a quiet evening at home.
Does he sound as if he's enjoying it, Mama?
Yes, and so am I.
Well, enjoying it or not, it's time we all went to bed.
Well, go on up. Nobody's stopping you.
No, thank you. I was only thinking about you. You know it's time you went to bed? Because you have to catch an early train tomorrow morning. Remember that early appointment, remember?
Yes, I remember, but it's hours from now. I don't have to start getting ready so soon.
David, don't be difficult. Let's go to bed.
Was she always like this, Mother?
Always, David. She never could do anything by herself, and she always inveigled me into doing things with her, whether I wanted to or not.
Inveigle. That's a nice word.
Poor Mama.
Poor you. You'll be dead on your feet all day tomorrow.
I am not tired.
Oh, yes, you are, whether you know it or not.
I might as well go to bed. I won't get any peace until I do.
Give in, David, give in. It's the easier path to take.
Mother, you and I are victims of a power stronger than ourselves.
Is that me?
I married a governess.
Well, I'm putting out the light, children.
How clever of
You
you.
two don't want to break your neck. Up the stairs with you.
Just blindfold me and do with me what you will.
Shackle my hands behind my back and lead me on.
You do. You look so foolish, standing around like sheep.
Sheep, she says, Mother. We're lambs.
To the slaughter.
Bah.
David, you dope. Last chance. Out go the lights.
Good heavens, it's dark with the lights off.
Bah.
You can turn the hall lights off upstairs. Bah.
Yes, Sergeant.
Come on. No gabbling in the halls, children.
The curfew has tolled the knell of parting day.
Gesundheit.
Nobody sneezed.
Curfew.
Ooh, Mrs. Brown, your daughter is a dimwit.
And she is dimming the lights. With it.
Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
And if you don't go to bed, you won't wake up early on the morrow.
Sweet dreams, children.
Good night, Mama.
Me, I'm wide awake.
Oh, darling, I'm sorry. Can't you pull yourself together and get sleepy?
I doubt it. But now that I'm upstairs, I might as well try to go to sleep. You had your glass of milk?
Not thirsty.
You're supposed to drink a glass of milk, you know.
I said I am not thirsty.
And I'm not sleepy, but you're putting me to bed.
That is different.
Ooh, ho, 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 ho. What's good for me, I must do. What's good for you, you mustn't.
The double standard? You've heard of it, certainly.
Young lady, as soon as you get into your bathrobe, you go downstairs and have yourself a glass of milk.
Oh, all right.
All right.
On one condition. You'll be sound asleep by the time I get back up.
You're the greatest little condition maker I ever married.
What's fair is fair. Did you lock the front door?
Lock the front door.
Lock the front door, yes.
Who ever heard of locking the front door?
Everybody has.
Well, not up here in the country, they haven't. Nobody locks their door in the country.
Why?
Why should they?
Why shouldn't they? Has a lock on it, hasn't it?
It's only for looks. There's no reason to lock a door in the country. Nobody ever tries to get into somebody else's house in the country.
Huh.
People don't walk around at night walking into other people's doors in the
Certainly
country.
not because they're locked.
That's not the reason.
Well, what is the reason then?
Well, the reason is that in the country it just isn't done.
Why? There is a lock on the door.
It just isn't done.
Who says?
I says.
Oh, that's a fine reason.
I'm going to bed. I hope that I'll be asleep by the time you get back from your milk.
David, have you ever been robbed?
Yes, on my wedding day.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why do I talk to you? I'm going to get some milk. Bye-bye. Sweet dreams.
Thanks, I'll need them.
Rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. Dum-da-dum-dum-dum-dum. Milk, 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 milk. No wonder I'm so contented.
Oh, is that you, Claudia?
Mama! Pappy scared the glass out of my hand.
I thought I heard somebody.
You did, me. Have a glass of milk, Mama.
No, thank you.
Go on. Do you good.
I don't want to be done good to.
Oh, you and David. Peas in a pod. Wish we had our own cow.
What's the matter with milk out of a bottle? Not good enough for you?
Oh, it's so much nicer to patronize your own establishment.
David asleep?
Said he'd try to be.
Just leave your glass in the sink. I'll put out the light.
Oh, good. Let's be quiet now, Mom, in case he's sleeping. I think it started to rain. Shh. Rain's a nice sound. How do you like that? After all I said, I forgot to lock the front door. David doesn't believe in it, Mama.
That is something else about men. They trust people.
Imagine. The strangest ways. Well, David or no David, I am locking the door. And so, to bed.
These stairs creak.
Oh, David's very fussy about that creak. He says it gives our house character.
Try to go into your room quietly and don't talk.
What do you take me for, Mama?
Chatterbox. Good night.
I never said a word. David, are you asleep? If you are asleep, don't bother answering me. Good. You must be asleep. See, you said you weren't sleepy. But I knew. What was that? David, you hear that? Oh, shh, down there. You'll wake him up. Go right on sleeping, darling. I'll go see who it is. Oh, such a noisy night.
Was that you again?
I thought I heard something at the front door.
So did I.
Shh, David's asleep.
Stand back. I'll find out who it is.
Who do you suppose?
Stay behind me. I'm older than you are.
Stop bragging, Mama.
Sounds like somebody's banging on the door.
Are you just going to open it?
Certainly.
Mama, let me get you a poker.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Say, who do you think you are, anyway?
Clark Gable.
It stopped.
Claudia, stand back. I'm going to open the door.
Oh, Mama, be careful. The wind sounds so eerie. There's nobody there.
That's funny. There is nobody here.
Do you suppose we imagined it?
I don't imagine things.
Maybe whoever it was saw you and got afraid.
Thank you so much.
You sure there's nobody there?
Nobody but the wind and the rain.
And close the door, Mama. And lock it.
I feel very silly. Creeping down here as if I expected to see a ghost and then nothing.
Stop complaining. I'm glad it was nothing. Where are you going, Mama?
Back to bed.
Wait for me.
Are you afraid of the dark?
No, but I thought you were.
It must have been the wind.
I guess so. I hope so. Funny, my knees feel funny for no reason. Well, good night, Mama.
For the last time, good night, Claudia. Stop imagining noises.
Same to you. Mama, did you just imagine a noise?
I think I did.
What do we do?
I'm going right downstairs and open that back door without further nonsense.
Don't you think I better wake David
I
up?
do not. I feel like Lady Macbeth creeping up and down the stairs.
I don't think this is the way victims act in murder mysteries.
Stop talking such nonsense.
The weather is perfect for anything, Mama. And it's my turn to go first.
It wasn't the front door this time.
I locked the back door, too.
Don't put on any lights.
You don't want a stranger to see me in this bathrobe? It is the back door.
And it is not the wind.
Or our imagination.
It's a terrible night for somebody to be out.
No wonder they want in. When the kitchen's cold, you stand behind the stove, Mama, while I open the door.
Stop acting so heroic. It isn't anything.
Well, here we go.
Well,
right. It isn't anything.
Let me look.
Stand back. Now, you want to get all wet?
I think we're all wet already.
Queerest thing, but there is nobody out there. Mama, what do we do now?
Same thing as last time.
Trouble is, the minute we get upstairs, the pounding will start again.
This time we won't waste any time. We'll come right down and surprise it.
David would have to go to sleep at a time like this.
I think we're two foolish women.
You do look awfully silly standing there in your nightgown, Mama.
You've nothing to be so proud of either. Did you lock the door?
I certainly did. You think I want somebody walking in?
There is no somebody, it would seem. Shh. I hear it.
Is somebody wants to get in again.
At the window.
Want to stay back here?
If there's nobody this time, I'm going to call a doctor.
Oh, 2 straight jackets would be so becoming to us. There's somebody in white.
A man.
Can't see us, can he?
Shh. We'll see what he wants.
Mama, how are your knees?
Knocking. Shh.
Blasted windows of all the...
David.
It's only you. Oh.
Oh, you two here.
David, you're all dripping, my dear.
You're soaked to the skin. I thought you were asleep.
Oh, well, let me in the house, will you?
Oh, fine thing, scaring us half to death.
Who do you think you are, climbing in windows in your pajamas on a night like this? People in the country don't...
Who locked the door?
We came down twice. Why didn't you just stay where you were?
Who locked the door?
I thought you were asleep.
Behind my back, huh?
David, darling, your teeth are chattering. What were you doing out?
It started to rain, so I put the car in the garage. I merely walked down the stairs.
Claudia, I'm putting the kettle on the stove for David.
Oh, and Mama, he'll want a hot water bottle, too.
Get him to take off those wet clothes.
Yes.
I just want to get to bed.
Well, darling... Oh, darling, you are sleepy after all.
I'm not sleepy. I just want to be allowed to thaw out all by myself. Ooh, I'm...
What was that?
What was that?
What was what? Oh, that. It was the shutter banging against the window. What a night.
Going shopping today? Tell you what you do. Don't get all worn out going from store to store until you're ready to snap at the whole family tonight. Instead, take it easy. Step up to that familiar red cooler during the course of your trek and enjoy the refreshment of ice-cold Coca-Cola. You find Coke coolers in food stores, department stores, all sorts of places these days. They are put there, remember, so that you may shop refreshed.
What a night, Joe. What a night.
Well, you better get yourself to bed, David. You're getting a chill.
I'll be all right. That's what I get for having a conscientious wife.
Well, she'll know better tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night won't matter. We're going into town tomorrow.
Oh?
We're going to stay at Mama's for a few days till Claudia goes to the hospital.
And while she's there, where will you go, David?
Me? You'll have to wait till tomorrow to find that out, Joe.
Well, if I must, I must. See you tomorrow, David.
What a night, what a night.
Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir.
From June 28th, 1948, Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We thank you for making us a part of your day. Please thank this station, support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a show. Our shows are available through iHeart, Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Better way to search is through our webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows, learn more about classic radio collecting, contact me, find our social media links. You can buy me a copy if you want. The great part about the Buy Me a Coffee link is it not only helps keep me stacked in Dr. Pepper, but it also helps us find more great old radio shows that are still being discovered and restored to this very day, some as far as 90 years ago. Thank you for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.